Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel, Sam's Real Estate Cafe. I wanted to start off this video by just saying I love Florida so much. Florida was like heaven for me because the whole time I was there, I was just getting tanned. I was just, drinking water, not worrying about shoveling the snow. It was just great. Okay. Now, as much as I can say great things about Florida, there's a lot of downsides that I think a lot of people don't really understand until they get there. So if anybody is wondering why I'm back in Michigan, it's because I had a really big reality check. Now, I had a house in Michigan that I was renting out to two tenants. And when I left, I asked one of the tenants to look after my house for me. And everything was going great. He seemed like a good kid. And then all of a sudden, when I moved to Florida, he flipped the script on me. And he was making demands, and it was just a mess. I was like, I can't wait to go back to Michigan just to take control of my life. And I think a lot of people want to leave their hometown and think that's going to solve a lot of their problems. But, problems don't go away. They follow you wherever you go. So don't think just because you're going to pick up, leave to a different state, that you're not going to have to deal with your problems, okay? Because the credit card debt follows you, your car payments follow you, the house bills, broken relationships follow you. You can't fix things by moving to another state. That's what I learned. And when I was there, I just felt like I did it irrationally. I thought that I could just, pick up my stuff and leave and start a new life. And that wasn't the case, because as soon as I got there, as much as I enjoyed it, I really wanted to get back to, make sure that my online store was taken care of, to make sure my house was still intact, to make sure my family was okay. There was just this worrying that I kept feeling while I was in Florida. And the crazy part is I felt like it was kind of lonely when I was there because I didn't have any family. I didn't really have any friends. I was trying to make friends while I was there, and I met some really, really cool people, and I just felt like this sense of loneliness. But, it was kind of like a vacation. I was gone for about 30 days. I had driven there from Michigan, and it took me about 2 days to drive there. Originally, I went to Miami, and then I seen the prices, and I freaked out, and I was like, whoa, let me get out of Miami, because I just couldn't afford it. And I was trying to, break into the modeling scene. I was trying to break into the real estate market. I was trying to do it all. And I remember getting this job at a dealership in Fort Lauderdale, and I worked there for one day, and I actually almost sold a car, but I couldn't find a place to rent. It was really, really hard. Every time I was looking on Facebook, I was looking on Craigslist, I couldn't find anything in Fort Lauderdale for a single room, for a private room, less than $800. I just couldn't find anything less than $800. And if you wanted to go cheaper than that, it would come with a lot of stuff. Like, you would have to share a room with people, and I'm not really comfortable doing that. In Michigan, you can get a private room for $500 and you don't have to share it with anybody. That's very simple. But in Florida, there's this thing where it's like a shared living situation, where because the rent is so expensive, it's really cheaper to rent with other people in a room living with you, like a hostel type arrangement. And I wasn't used to that. It was very uncomfortable for me. It was nice to meet new people, but sometimes after a long day, it's nice to just sit in your own room and not worry about people touching your stuff or people in your face, or things that would make you uncomfortable, like sharing a fridge. For me personally, I don't really like sharing a fridge with people. I like my own fridge. And when I went to Florida, it just seemed like everybody packed their stuff into one fridge, and it was just kind of gross. Like, definitely not sanitary. Another thing that I want to point out is that there's a lot more people in Florida than there is in Michigan. So it's definitely busier during the daytime. There's more traffic. There's a lot more things to do in Florida than there is in Michigan. There's a lot more recreational stuff that you can do. And that was fun. But again, I was, new to the scene, and I was trying to make friends. And for me, I was just worried about getting a job, finding employment. I wasn't really worried about having, a good time. But I did have a good time. And the reason why I'm back is just because of my rental situation at home, dealing with the tenants. My mom missed me a lot, and I just felt like there was a burden, and something, made me feel like I had to go back. And I just don't know why certain things in life happen for a reason, because when I went there, it was kind of like a present to myself. So I went 2 days before my birthday. Actually, I went 1 day before my birthday. It was February 11th that I was leaving. I arrived to Miami February 14th. And, when I was in Miami, I just couldn't believe the weather. It was like amazing. The sun was great. The first Airbnb that I stayed at was really close to the airport, and it was away from the downtown. So, the Miami scene by the airport is a completely different, situation than the downtown area. It's a little bit more run down, and it's not what anybody would expect Miami to be. But again, a lot of people have this image about Miami and Florida that's like glamorous, that once you get there, you're going to live the lifestyle. And that's all true. That's all true. You can live the lifestyle, but you can't go to a foreign place and expect that to happen overnight, because it will not. Okay? So for that reason, I came back to Michigan, because I was like, who am I pretending to be, I don't want to go to live in a different state, inconvenience myself. I'm too old. I'm 29. I've been in situations where I've inconvenienced myself, and it's not a good feeling. Sleeping from Airbnb to rentals to people's couches. It's not fun. So, coming back to Michigan, I realized that you have to have a lot of money in order to even start and have a decent lifestyle in Florida. For me personally, I don't want to move back there unless I'm worth over $1 million. That's just how I look at it. Because everything is so expensive, the lifestyle is fast, everybody's driving in a Mercedes, a Bentley, brand new trucks. It's just, there's a different income level in Florida than there is in Michigan. I would say the general income level in Florida is middle class to very wealthy. That's just the general thing that I've seen. Yes, there are poverty-stricken areas, there are people who work regular jobs, but for the most part, especially because Florida is a retirement state, a lot of those retirees have these, 401k benefits and retirement income, and they have money. So you can't really compete with that if you're 29 years old and trying to start over. You know what I mean? So it's so much easier for somebody to leave Florida, come to Michigan and start a new life, but it's way harder for people to leave Michigan and to go to Florida and to start over. It's very hard. And it's twice as hard, I imagine, to do that from Michigan to California. But because this video is about Florida, I'm just going to tell you guys that Florida is getting to a place where it's going to be even more expensive than California, because they just named Miami the #1 expensive city in the United States. So it beat out Manhattan. Manhattan used to be the most expensive city in the United States. Now Miami is officially the most expensive city. So take that in. And the reason why it's so expensive is it's because it's such a hot spot for tourists. Okay, there's people coming from all over the world, and they estimate that over 100 million people visit Florida in any given year. Okay, maybe the number is off due to COVID, but on average, they say about 100 million people. So the potential to invest and do really well in Florida is there, but for somebody that's trying to start their life over in a different state, you need money. Okay, you either need money, you need a really decent job, or something. You can't just go to Florida in an overnight bag and say, here I am, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay, you heard it here first, guys. I know there might be people out there that want to change their environment. They might be sick of the cold. Maybe they're going to Florida to invest, open a business. You can do all that stuff, is great, but it comes with risks. Okay, and if you're willing to take that risk, then I say go for it. If you're not willing to take that risk and you don't want to inconvenience yourself, I would say plan it out before, save as much money as you can, and then make the move. But do it strategically. Don't go to Florida and say, okay, I'm just going to do anything. No, don't do that. Have something lined up for you. That way, when you get there, you don't feel like you need to ask people for favors. Because let me tell you, there's nothing worse than asking a complete stranger to help you, because they have no obligation to help you. So it would definitely be nice if anybody would try to go to Florida and bring a friend with them that can help them, because it's much more convenient. Now, being back in Michigan, I'm back into doing real estate. I signed with my old broker again, and I'm really satisfied with, where my life is going right now. I finally got my tenants out. I have my house back. I'm looking to buy a new house. So my advice for anybody that wants to move to another state is to save as much money as possible and have a plan. Don't go to another state without a plan. Don't go there, trying to have a good time and just living the life, because that's going to get old really soon. Okay? I would say if you want to go to another state and move there, you need to experience it for at least 2 weeks. The reason why I say two weeks is because I think it takes over a week to really get adjusted to a different place. And when I was in Florida, it took me about over a week, but I was there for about a month. So by the time I left, I already felt like I lived there. So when I came back to Michigan, it was a really weird feeling, but I enjoyed it a lot for the most part. But yeah, definitely save up money and, try to see if you can get any connections while you're there or so before you go there. And I just feel like anybody that's in my age, in the 20s or in their teens, that wants to make a big change, go for it, experience it, because once you get into your 30s and 40s, which I'm not there yet, but once you get to that age, you're going to feel like everything is too late. You might settle down, and they say if you don't do it in your 20s, you're never going to do it. I heard that. So if anybody's in their 20s and wants to make a big change, I say go for it, but be smart about it, because we have one life to live. We should do it the right way. I'm sure we all work hard. We shouldn't inconvenience ourselves for the sake of just moving to a different state. We shouldn't do it irrationally either. Like we shouldn't make big decisions in our life irrationally. We need to really sit back and think about why it is that we're making this decision. Is it life or death? Okay? And if it's not life or death, then maybe you should sit back and just take your time before you make a decision. Okay? So with that being said, I really, really just want to help anybody out there, if they're making a big move or if they're contemplating something. I have my Instagram linked in the description. I have my, information that you guys can, contact me through. And as always, I would really appreciate it if you guys liked or subscribed this video. Please comment and tell me what videos you guys want from me going forward. I think that would really help me produce content, because a lot of the times I'm just going based off of my experiences. So I really, really just want to help and make sure that people are aware of certain things that they might not expect when making certain decisions, especially when moving. Because, I would say just to drive back and forth from Florida, it cost me a good $300-400 just in gas and snacks and all that stuff. So it's not cheap, guys. It's not cheap. So, save up money and definitely be wise and make sure that you guys are aware of your surroundings. And with that being said, I really, really am looking forward to, hearing what you guys think. And as always, this has been another video of Sam's Real Estate Cafe. I hope you guys have a good day. And I hope you guys, make great decisions daily. And I hope you guys have a good day. All right.